good things in order to be happy. So it's all in order for you to be happy. So it's still a bit selfish.
I'm not so sure about this.
Selfishness is very necessary because only when you're happy you can give happiness.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting point, because the Dalai Lama says if you want to be selfish, be wisely selfish, and cherishing others is wise selfishness. But I think, you know, we have to go a little bit further with this, and we have to see what Buddhism really thinks about the I that is doing the actions. Whether Buddhism really believes there is an I, and whether Buddhism really ascribes to selfishness and self-cherishing. Because there's no I, then there won't be selfishness or self-cherishing. So actually the point of giving is to weaken your sense of an I. If you weaken your sense of an I because you're genuinely, sincerely giving, happiness will come. Because you weakened your sense of an I. And you know, people come to the courses and they ask these questions over and over again. I've been giving, but I'm just burnt out. I've got nothing more to give. How can I learn to give more? And the point is, because I've been doing what you're saying, there's been an I. There's been this I. Or it's been for me. The I is still getting in the way. The point is here to weaken the self-cherishing mind, the selfish mind, and the ego-grasping mind. And if you do that, ironically, yes, you'll get happy, but who is happy? Yeah. Let's all look for the I, me, mine.
But anything that you do as a cause, so when come like the point that you decide what you do, like, I mean, you said that everything has cause and effect.
Yeah.
So even like, and like what I get from it or what I think in the moment that I do it as a cause and effect. So when it becomes, when like I really do something and it's not.
I'm not getting the question.
I mean, everything that I do is a cause and effect, right?
Right.
Even now when we're talking,
Right.
because of karma, I said what I'm saying now.
We become calculative basically.
So
For
what-
every our action we will think, okay, if I
Well,
do
you
this,
know, if you are calculating, don't know what
No,
you're
no, nothing.
but she didn't mean calculative.
No, I mean, just like, how can I, like, I mean, if everything is karma, how can I affect this karma? Like, I mean, because I did some, I think because I did some good things.
If everything is karma, and see, that's what I was trying to explain to you at the very beginning, there's human intelligence.
Yeah.
We have human intelligence. We have the ability to reason out, to figure out, to work out what kind of action we want to do.
But so it means that
There
it's
is
not
free will.
because of, like, it's not only the cause and effect.
No, you see, you're using cause and effect to mean fate.
No.
This is free will.
No. It's just like if I use this law of karma, like
Yeah.
because I did some, if I understand correctly, maybe because I did some good things in the past, so
Right.
now I have the opportunity to sit it, right?
Right.
So it always like continue, like, because now I'm good, because it's good that I'm here, so in the future I will be good. But when
Is that true? Don't you think that sitting here right now, you have human intelligence and you can make choices?
I think so, but I think
Right.
that's what I'm asking. Like in the Buddhism way, what's the difference between like what's the distinguish between the karma, when the karma takes place, and when it's like it's really the intelligence.
What you're experiencing right now is a result of previous actions. How you are experiencing it is also going to be connected with how you've taken care of your mind in the past. what you do with what you're experiencing right now and how you're experiencing it, completely in your hands. Completely in your hands.
So your reactions, your actions.
Totally, absolutely.
But every action, like every action or reaction is because of the past.
No, every action, no.
No.
Okay.
It's
No.
not deterministic.
I'll give you an example. I mean, and again, it's like we go all higgledy-piggledy because we get the questions. So this is what, and then we don't finish the subject. But I'll give you an example right now then, but we won't finish, I mean, you know, we've just kind of started on karma. Okay, let's give you an example. Happened to me quite recently. You want this example? Okay. If it helps to clarify things for you, it's your course, not mine. Whatever you want. So, this happened to me quite recently. A couple of months ago, I was in a monastery, Kopan, and my teacher, Dharamsala, he said to me, why did you something, yeah? And I said, Rinpoche, I never did that. I said, yes you did. This person told me that you did it. I said, Rinpoche, I never did it. I never did it. I couldn't even have done it because I wasn't there. It's impossible that I did it. I said, well, don't do it again. I love it. So, this is guru-disciple relationship. You know? just single-pointedly focused on destroying the ego. Okay, so what happened is, so somebody criticized me, right? For something I didn't do. I didn't do this thing. I was criticized and I didn't do it. Not only did they criticize me, they told my teacher, and they probably told a whole lot of other people that I did this thing that I didn't do. It's completely wrong. They criticized me. Just wait a minute. So they criticized me for something I didn't do, yeah? And I'm pretty sure I know who did it. I have a really, really good idea who did it. They didn't do it directly to Rinpoche. I'm sure they went to Rinpoche's attendant, and Rinpoche's attendant knew all about it, and then he told Rinpoche, and then all these other people, I'm sure, went round, and it spread through the whole monastery, and they were criticizing me for something I hadn't done. Okay. So, there's this situation arising. Now, the law of cause and effect. Why am I being criticized for something I didn't do? Have I criticized people in the past? Yes! 100%. Of course, I have done that. So it's not too surprising that I'm being criticized for something, is it? You know? I mean, it's really not that surprising. So here I am, I'm being criticized, this is what it feels like. Have I done this in the past? Yeah, I have criticized people. Have I criticized people to Rinpoche? Yes, I have. Yes, I've done it. I acknowledge it. So I just have to sit down and look at the situation. This is happening because of actions I've done in the past. 100% true. True, true, true. I didn't do that specific action. Thank goodness! I'm so glad that person didn't criticize me for something I actually did. That would have been much more difficult. I mean, there's many things I've done. I'm really glad they didn't tell Rinpoche I did them. What a relief! They criticised me for something that I hadn't done, because I could actually say, I never did it! And I could feel, whoa, thank goodness. Okay, so now, this is a situation. I'm being criticised, I've done that in the past, this is what it feels like, this is what I've done to others, the karma's coming back, great. Finish it there. Now I have some options. One option is just to say, go to that person and start accusing them, say, why did you do this? And of course they're going to get really upset and defensive and say, I didn't do this, and it's whole going to blow up, right? It's going to become a whole big issue. Another option is I can decide, well, I'm going to criticize that person. And I can start spreading rumors about that person. You know, retaliation. This is the worldly way of dealing with things. Somebody harms you, you harm the back. Somebody harms you, you harm the back. Somebody harms you, you harm the back. Doing that for lifetimes. Forget about that one. So here's two options, right? Now I have another option. I mean, I've got many options. But one option is simply to say, and this is what Rinpoche said to me, he said, well, you should thank that person for giving you the opportunity to practice patience. That person's been very kind to you. So this is my other option, to say, well, okay, in this particular instance, I didn't do it. Whew, what a relief. Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to finish this karma and to practice patience. Thank you. Because the Buddha can teach you patience. Only people who are giving you a difficult time, your enemy, criticizing you, giving you a hard time, can help you to practice it. So, I decided the third option. Thank you very much for criticizing me. And thank you for criticizing me for something I didn't do well. And it's finished. It's finished there. I mean, it will die down.
It's okay.
It will die down. Even if he said all these things, I mean, if I just continue on steadily, then it doesn't really matter. It's come and it's gone. So that particular karma is finished. So, yeah, I'm experiencing the result of previous actions. Yeah, it hurts. But yeah, I can sit down and think about it, and I can choose how I'm going to respond and what kind of situation I'm going to set up for the future when I have similar experiences, what kind of reaction I'm going to have in the future when I have similar experiences. I'm able to do that. I have free will to do that, and I can think about it. I can think about the consequences of my actions, and I can make an intelligent decision with my human mind. Do you see? All right. It is important. It's really important, these things that you bring up. They're very important. That's what makes it real. You know, not just 1, 2, 3, 4, but looking at these kinds of issues. Now, when I said this 2 courses ago, people got furious. Oh, there were questions coming for days. Why didn't you go and tell this person? But you should have gone and told this person. Oh my goodness, there was like a whole storm that erupted. I mean, it's not such a big deal for me, really. I mean, if you're criticized in a way, we say it's really helpful when you're criticized. Number one, if it's true what the person's saying, you'll learn something. Yeah? I remember this story about this one Italian monk. I was talking to my friend, he was in Bulgaria, and he was talking with my friend, and they were just having a chat, and somebody walked up, and they started shouting and screaming at this Italian monk, saying, "You did this, and you did this, and you did this, and you did this." And the Italian monk is standing there, and he's listening, and then the person finishes, and he walks off, and then the Italian monk walks round, and he says, "Oh, intelligent guy, he got it absolutely right." You know, there's a story, because he had done that. You know, there's nothing to defend with the ego. I mean, if you've done something wrong, you can learn from it. If you didn't do something wrong, you can practice patience.
What the Tibetan did, they dissolved this karma of exile and occupation?
Ask the Tibetans, and they'll tell you. Yeah, I mean, seriously, ask Tibetans and they'll tell you.
All Tibetan.
But does that mean that they sit around in MacLeod Ganj saying, "Oh, this is my karma"? No. They rebuilt the entire Tibetan monastic institutions, culture, in exile, re-established all the monasteries, training all the monks, went all over the world. The Dalai Lama went numberless countries and spread Buddhism to millions of people.
But it's because something they did, it's not because of the cruelty of the Chinese, it's something that the Tibetan did.
There's 2 things happening. Why are they experiencing the cruelty of the Chinese? If you believe in karma, then you believe it's not happening for no reason. But does that mean you then think I'm a helpless victim? Or do you go along and deal with the situation as it presents itself? That's what they've done. I mean, it's been enormously beneficial. The Dharma, Buddhism has spread all over the world, and Buddhism is desperately needed in the world. And quite honestly, would the Dalai Lama and the Buddhist monks be as persuasive if they had not themselves faced genocide, torture, and responded by putting the teachings into practice? Isn't that what makes the Dalai Lama such a great example in this world? Isn't that why he got the Nobel Peace Prize and prizes wherever he goes, why people respect him? Because he walks the talk. He walks the talk. Yeah, when you talk to Tibetans, I mean, this is difficult for me also because I'm a Westerner. But when you talk to Tibetans, and I'll be saying, "Well, why is this happening? Why is this happening? You know, poor me, poor me." And they'll be saying, Angela, this is our karma. This is my karma. But that doesn't mean that they beat themselves up in a hole. No, they carry on with their lives. They accept. This is what's happening, and we'll deal with it.
Is karma depending on the nature balance of yin and yang?
No. No, it doesn't depend on nature. I've never heard that.
Except that the Dalai Lama has no karma, right?
The Dalai Lama has no karma. Well, if you think that the Dalai Lama is a Buddha,
Yeah.
then he has enlightened activity. And his enlightened activity is in response to the karma of the disciples that he's guiding. So his enlightened activity is to help those that he's guiding. And those that he's guiding are principally 6 million Tibetan people.
Plus the Westerners, plus the
Well, now there's, I mean, now it's all over the world. Westerners, Chinese, everyone. I mean, he's like the guru for the world. I mean, but principally the Dalai Lama is a spiritual leader of 6 million Tibetan people, as he always says. So therefore his principal responsibilities are 6 million Tibetan people. This is what the 6 million Tibetan people are experiencing, and so he is continually trying to work for independence, freedom, I mean, autonomy at least. And I'm sure he will get it. Personally, I said this in the last course, I 100% believe this. You look at the world. I spent time in Mongolia, so you know Mongolia. Mongolia went through a similar situation, was one of the most Buddhist countries you can imagine. 600,000 population, 100,000 were monks. They didn't have nuns, 100,000 monks. 600 monasteries all over the country. They were Tibetan Buddhist, non-Tsongkhapa tradition, very, very solid. 1937, the Nice Long Lives, under the influence of Stalin, Choibalsan, purged the monasteries. Of the 100,000, 20 or more thousand were shot, mock trials and shot, killed. Anyone with any kind of knowledge, tulkus, lamas, geshes, killed. It was worse than Tibet. Then the middling ones, who had some knowledge but not as much knowledge or influence, sent off to Siberia. They never came back. They were worked to death. And the young kids sent to the fields to work. They could not be monks. And for 70 years they were not allowed to practice. It was illegal, even punishable by death, even to have a mala in the early days, or to be seen to recite any prayers. Everything had to be done in secrecy. But what happened? The Soviet Union fell apart. Mongolia regained independence, and now, once again, Buddhism completely being revived. Everything coming back. So the karma finished. They experienced a certain karma. The karma's been experienced, and it's finished. The Soviet Union used to be one huge country. Was there much shooting and it all fell to pieces? When I was young, it was the East Bloc